As we know, the last 18 months has really proven to be a very difficult period for most employers and, of course, their employees. In fact, in the last 18 months, what we found is some staggering information which shows and evidences how this is impacted on the well-being of their staff. So 1 in 6 workers, for example, are dealing with a mental health problem, such as anxiety or depression, etc. In the UK alone, 80 million days are lost every year due to mental illness. So it goes to show that with regards to the pandemic that we've experienced, this has had a terrible effect on most employees. So the question is, what can we do about this as the employees? As the employer, we need to be able to support our employees so that we can make sure that that they're safe and that they're well, but also because it has a detrimental impact on our business. In a recent study from CIPD, the Chartered Institute of Personnel Development, in their report from 2021, it evidences that employees' well-being is now on senior leaders' minds and on their agendas, which is terrific. In fact, in the private sector alone, that's gone up 68% from 2020. In the public sector, it's gone up 83%. Okay, which is up 72% from 2020. And not-for-profit organisations is sitting at 82%, which is up 63% from 2020. And they have well-being strategies now in place, which again for the private sector is up by 37%, sitting at 47%. And up 63%, sitting at 64% for the public sector. And up 41%, sitting at 38% for non-profit organisations. So what does all this information tell us? What it tells us is that we're now beginning to realise how well-being and wellness of our employees directly impacts our organisations. And that's why we're now having to realise we do need to do something about it. We do need to work more proactively in this area rather than react. And it's through this realisation and demand from our clients that we at Constellation Solutions have actually designed a Wellbeing and Wellness Project, okay, which we've aptly called the Wellbeing and Wellness Project 2021. So what does all this mean? How can it help you? Well, it's a two-stage attack on this issue. So what we've actually done is we created a very comprehensive wellbeing survey for employees to complete. And this consists of covering, sort of 9 key areas. So it consists of emotional well-being, environmental well-being, intellectual well-being, occupational well-being, physical wellness, social well-being, spiritual wellness, financial wellness, and of course the burnout risk. This is important so that it helps us to identify key areas across a business of what's actually impacting the well-being and wellness of their staff, so that we can help you to be able to make changes to be able to support them. So this is then followed up with a employee one-to-one mentoring and coaching session with one of our well-being experts. So this survey is used, or the results of the survey is used, to be able to inform and base that conversation around. So on an individual basis, we can better understand what is actually impacting on that particular individual and how can we help them. So this is done in a number of ways. So firstly, on that particular call, our wellbeing expert will also help to signpost the individuals to external charities for additional support and help where that's appropriate. From the combination of both those approaches, i.e. the one-to-one and the survey results, we then generate a very comprehensive management report for yourselves so that you as a business can sit down and identify key areas which you could then make an impact on. And we would obviously put forward recommendations to help you with that. So looking at how we actually deal with this project It is a comprehensive approach, and it needs to be in order for us to gain a much bigger scope, a bigger picture of what's actually happening in your workplace. The benefits of using us at Constellation Solutions Limited is that you have that external party. So it provides that level of confidentiality, that level of confidence that it's anonymous, and also it entices people to be able to better answer the questions more openly, whilst also giving them the confidence to be able to speak to us in a way perhaps they may not feel comfortable in talking to you directly. What it also does is removes any unconscious bias. Okay. So again, what it actually does over the whole program is enables us to be able to better identify for you exactly what's happening in your business and the areas of which you might be able to make changes, small changes, to be able to improve the well-being and wellness of your staff. Why is all this critically important? Just a quick reminder, of course, that we do know through studies that ultimately it's the well-being and the wellness of your staff which directly impacts on things like motivation. If they're not motivated, you're not going to get a lot of productivity out of them. It also impacts on their commitment levels. And if they're not committed, you're going to find higher staff turnover. We do know wellness and well-being also impacts on absenteeism or presenteeism. And that indirectly impacts on innovation within the business. So are your strategic objectives going to be achieved? Unlikely. It also impacts on productivity levels. It also impacts on the morale of the staff in your organisation. All these negatives are not going to be conducive for your business. It doesn't help you to become sustainable. And in fact, what it actually does is it increases your operating costs. So, what we do here at Constellation Solutions Limited is we provide you with a free, no obligation, 1 hour consultation so we can talk you through the process and help you to identify whether or not this is a program that's going to be right for you and your organisation. So why don't you drop us a line today and get yourselves booked in for that free consultation, and then we can discuss how it actually works, what's going to happen, and then you can make an informed decision for yourselves. Thank you for listening.